Celebrating 25 years of media excellence, this is Joy News Interactive on your most credible news source, Joy News, on your digital TV. You can also watch us on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. Welcome to the show. Our WhatsApp line is 0540109009, 0540109009. I am Na Ajele Doku, and it's a pleasure to have you. The Electoral Commission, the EC, has suspended the compilation of the new voters register over the coronavirus outbreak. The exercise was scheduled to commence on April 18th through to the end of May. However, after a meeting with political parties Wednesday, Sripo, the director of Electoral Services at the Commission, said because of the pandemic, we can't do it on April 18th. Now let's read some of your comments on Facebook. And Naba says, interesting, they should go ahead and do it with their family. Concert. That's what he thinks. You can go to our Facebook page at Joy News on TV on Facebook and comment and let me know what you think. And this one says, who would have gone out to register anyway? Let's put our energies together and fight something important than this. Only shameless characters will be thinking of a register when citizens are suffering and scared. Who register app? That one there, that's a saying for that one. And Colin says they should be thinking of using the current register and forget about any new one. Abraham Smith said it's good for them and we the citizens. Silver says if you fail to listen to the voice of the people, God will do things in his own way to stop you. Please, if you have nothing doing outside, stay at home and remember to wash your hands with soap under running water. Stop the spread. And I like that information. That's really good feedback. Stay at home, wash your hands under running water, and let's stop the spread. That's very important right about now. Those are Facebook comments coming on the new voters register that has been suspended. And Listerwell says, but still, we need a new voters register. I say it says the best decision. Great move, 4 more years for now. That's coming from Sharif. Tupac disappeared in 1996, but his pictures are clearer than yours. The old voters register can do better. And that's coming from Sadat Larry. Did he disappear or he died? Those are comments coming on our Facebook page on the suspension of the new voters register. And William says this woman is in big trouble if she's not able to compile a new voters register. She told Ghanaians the existing register is not credible, full of mistakes. So conducting elections with this register, no political party will accept defeat. Well, that's his thoughts on that one. That's from William Homeku. Now, away from the Electoral Commission and the suspension of the new voters register, let's talk about social distancing. It's one of the measures to curb a spike in the COVID-19 case. I know it's difficult to do that, especially if you're a family person and are used to pegs and hacks and etc. Hannah Odami, one of my colleagues here at Joy News, visited traders at the Nima market who say they are aware of social distancing but not really practicing it with varied reasons.
68 or call 0509-497.
I'm going to practically show you what 6 feet is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the standard social distancing that WHO wants you and I to practice. But as you can see here, that is not what is being practiced at the Nima market here in Accra. And when we put the question to the traders, this is what they had to tell us.
ebi amba nti de bia sa na yetenase nti obi anya bi baby I won no na ebejai.
We know that we will not be infected with COVID-19. This is how we always sit here in the market. This is not the spot of my colleague selling by me. When I returned from hawking, she had taken my spot and I cannot sack her.
The car behind me has prevented. Us from sitting apart. But even with that, we know we are safe against coronavirus.
We have been asked to protect ourselves. When I was coming, the social distance is to be 2 or 3 meters. But from the look of things, in the market, there is no anything like social distances. So what I was trying to say, if government can do something about it, like once or twice a week, we can be at the market to buy whatever we want. Then the market shall be shut down to the next week. It will be far better than every day we going to the market. It's not helping us.
With all indication, we've been doing this to keep ourselves from all that we can keep ourselves healthy right from time before the virus came. So I think we're getting better with it. And there's no way we can distance from each other. Because when you try to do that, you realize you find problems with people. So all we need to do is that we'll be extra careful with all that we are told to do to avoid and abstain. We do it and be extra careful, like I said.
And that was my colleague Hannah Odami's report coming from Nima Market. Now you'll be reacting to the story on Facebook, and I'd like to read some of your comments. Collins Forrest says the lockdown, especially in Accra, Kumasi and Tema, will increase the spreading, as this will push people there to visit their respective hometowns and villages to enjoy curfew-free. When this happens, we will by all means have some carriers of the virus who will infect the people in these villages and hometowns, as our brothers and sisters also did say by infecting Ghana from abroad. Well, he has the point there. Mohammed says, I think the lockdown will affect a lot of people, especially our Zongos, their slums and overcrowding in their rooms. So even if the lockdown, the spread won't stop. I think the government should provide support to the people in terms of food and other protective materials if the lockdown is to come. And that's coming from Mohammed. This one says, Guy Gale says, stop collecting toll fee. Please stop the spread. Okay, that's what he thinks. That's his opinion on that one. And Vishal says, same, I saw a local market opposite Aqua Mall in the evening. Hussein Adam says, the traders have taken over the roads. Look at the road markings and where the traders have placed their wares. Who controls these situations? And Ajiman says, we are not serious at all in Ghana. Fadar says, most Ghanaians don't know the havoc this COVID-19 can cause. Leave them to trade. After all, nobody is above the COVID-19 virus. And Adam says, when one case is recorded in that area, they will observe the protocols without any force. Kelly Roxon says 1.3 billion people staying indoors in India. Well, that's one. Godwin says people will be infected and some might die. Tilioko says virtually impossible. Well, it might be virtually impossible, but times are not the same, so we'd have to learn to readjust and do things better. You can also go to our Facebook page at JoyNews on TV and let me know what you think about social distancing in our markets. Thomas says the wrong term being used is physical distancing, not social distancing. I think that would make a lot of sense. Daniel says, Nana, please put them to bed. Only thing they will understand. Baba says, so she doesn't know we aren't in normal times. This is why I would die for Nana to continue free SHS. Frimpon says, Ghana for you. Angel Michael says, some people just don't care. Carl says, may God have mercy. And indeed, may God have mercy upon us. Those are your Facebook messages coming on social distancing in our markets. Andrew says, lockdown is the way to go now. Ellie Autry says, hey, Ghana. And I agree with you. Peter says, so bad to see. And Love Stephen says, only God. Still on social distancing, there are some calls for physical distancing in churches and taxis. So, for example, the churches should reduce the sitting arrangements by 1. Valid calls. Facebook comments, and let's read that. People have been reacting to this on Facebook, and let's go and read that right now. And Kelvin says, it's 2 things. If my church carries 12 passengers and I have to carry 6 now, then I have to share the cost of the other 6 passengers for those on board to pay, taking the cost of fuel and also sales into consideration. If not, I will park my car at home and will not do me a lot of good. And yeah, you have a point there. Ichiahene says it's in the right direction to reduce the number on board in any church. However, people must deliberately reduce their travels. We're in difficult and odd times. Passengers should be very careful and be ready to observe all social distancing protocols. Stay healthy. And Jeremiah says the call is in the right direction and should be enforced. The passengers should also be sanitized before boarding the buses. And that's a really valid and good point there. Those are your comments still on social distancing, but on, popular road transport here in Ghana. Charles says, this is even a compromise self. They should be banned temporarily to avoid contacting, to prevent more spread, yes. Bright says the government should reduce the price of fuel to match the number of passengers per vehicle. If not, then I'm not sure it would work. All valid points coming there from you on Facebook, on social or physical distancing in our public transports in Ghana. Samolte said subsidize their costs, and that's fine. And Madi says that's why lockdown is a must. Rashid said that's what I know, and they should forget that register crowd. Okay. Jonas Obeng Dako says fares cannot remain same. Ayo says government must lock down the country, and that's all. And those are comments coming on Facebook concerning social or physical distancing in our public transports. Kay says reduce fuel prices, then implement this policy. Mohammed says government reduce petroleum and implement that. Okay, I'm sure he's talking about the prices of petrol. Frank Fosu says, and who will share the additional cost? Well, Bernard says the policymakers should be up and doing. Is this an advice or an order? Amusamal said this is not happening in Europe. David Mensa says government must meet them halfway. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Jay says yes, it has to be. Mohammed said nobody is free. Samuel says perfect. Inusa says total lockdown of Accra and Kumasi. And those were your comments on Facebook about social distancing in our markets and on public transport. But you can go to our Facebook page at JoyNews on TV and let me know what you think. But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some Twitter trends. Welcome back from that quick break. It's still Joy News Interactive on your most credible news source, Joy News. My name is Na Ajele. And well, our Court of God reports coming in says that our confirmed cases of COVID-19 has gone up to 132. So I would advise, keep washing your hands, keep sanitizing, and please adhere to social distancing or physical distancing. That's the most important thing now. And hashtag spread the calm, not fear. So let's do some Twitter trends. And Accra was trending at number 4 today on Twitter. And the conversation is all about the lockdown. People are not sure. People are discussing what effects the lockdown might have on us. And let's read some of your tweets. Pinpoint Media says, while there's life, there's hope. Okay, so let's do some Thursday thoughts instead while I get ready with your Twitter trends. And Thursday thoughts says, while there's life, there's hope. Hashtag Thursday thoughts. That's coming from Stephen. That's a saying from Stephen Hawking. We have life, so definitely there's hope. Let's keep that hope alive. We must accept infinite disappointment, but never lose hope infinitely. We must accept finite disappointment, but never ever lose infinite hope. So no matter how difficult or blurry and bleak the situation looks like, losing infinite hope is not an option. And we're going to get through this. Rick Jordan says, every time your choice shifts, your life shifts. Choose wisely. So right now is a time that you need to choose that social distancing is the norm and you need to stick to that. Right now is a time for you to keep washing your hands no matter how many times you wash in a day, and keep sanitizing and taking care of other people. Every time your choice shifts, your life shifts. Hashtag Thursday thoughts. And I love this one. It says, just like the flowers of spring, we will find the strength to bloom again. No matter how many times this thing kicks us down, definitely spring will come and we'll find time to bloom again as a beautiful world together. And let's do the Twitter trends on Accra. This one says, other African countries who are on partial lockdown are not different from Ghana. A lockdown comes with measures and thorough preparation, which the presidency are on every day. Also, the lockdown is not the whole country. Accra, Kumasi, Obuasi, maybe Tema. Let's not put fear into people, and that's the right move. Let's not put fear into people. Actually, let's spread some calm. And P. Main says, the question of what we will eat will still be the same question if the government decides to lock down in 2 weeks' time. Resources are limited, bro. All the best hospitals and best doctors are in Accra and Kumasi, and these are the places we have the virus. Why not contain it there or here? Those are tweets coming on Accra, which was trending at number 4 right this morning. Two Sweet says, in case you would lock down the Accra and Kumasi, what about our Kaya Ye mothers? They need serious protection too. And that's a valid point. And those were our Twitter trends on Thursday thoughts. And Accra, that's trending at number 4. Well, lockdown or no lockdown, we'll find a way. Now let's do the video of the day.